Hello, guys, and welcome to a new season for the F1 podcast. Yes, for the 2026 season. Yes, the first video that we make after a while, especially after the end of last season, 2025. We head to a new season for the 2026, a completely different season with new regulations, a new team joining Formula One Cadillac, new expectations, new everything, and the buzz and excitement is there from everybody's side in terms of fans and teams. Today we're going to talk about where do we think the teams sit are in terms of the order, in terms of the pace, and in terms of what we hear and what we saw in the Barcelona test a week ago. And also, especially, we're going to preview more about also the upcoming two tests in Bahrain. Um, Bahrain this week upcoming, and then the other one, which is the 18th and 20th February. But also, we're also going to talk about the teams, where they sit at, where their expectations, etc. So, first of all, before we start talking about those things, I want to welcome my friend Mohammed again. Mohammed, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Excited for the new season?
Very much excited for this new season. Gonna be an interesting season, especially after hearing the Lando Norris's comments recently regarding this new rule set. Should be an interesting season. Should be a chaotic one.
Yeah, it should be a very, very chaotic one. I expect, especially with the new regulations change, which is probably the biggest regulation change in Formula One since many years. If you want to exclude, if you want to say 2014 was the biggest one, but this one is also quite similar
Mm.
uh, to that extent. But now let's start talking about the what we thought about the teams and what we saw in Barcelona. There were some teams who showed some good pace in Barcelona, and but also Barcelona was not the goal in terms of not only showing the pace but also reliability,
Yeah.
because obviously this regulations requires also you have to have great engine, a great dependent engine.
Mm.
And teams like, let's say Haas, Ocon did, I think, 152 laps in the day first or day second.
Mm.
Teams have shown good pace like Mercedes, McLaren, to some extent Ferrari as well.
Mm.
Um, and some team also Red Bull. Red Bull, from what I hear, the Red Bull are very positive about what they see in their pace, and they are more they're surprised, they're positively surprised with their pace and their potential pace. So let's see. But yeah, what do you think, Mohammed? What do you think of what we saw in Barcelona from the teams and from the drivers' point of view?
Okay. I think by far, the Barcelona has shown that Mercedes have their shit together when it comes to reliability and long running and pace. Uh, I I would say some teams struggled, especially Audi. I would say they had one of the lowest track mileage, in my personal opinion. Also, Aston Martin, you would say, was disappointing. But regarding pace, I think the 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 Mercedes power teams are gonna be very much have a very high advantage, considering considering I don't think this season is gonna be very much aero, especially this season and new regulations. I don't think aerodynamics are gonna matter that much, considering it's fairly new. People are still understanding the new cars, so aerodynamics will not be a key part. Um, Overall, I would say it was good. Some teams disappointing, like Aston Martin, one of the lowest. Williams, absolutely disgusting from Williams, like really bad from Williams. I don't know what happened, but yeah, overall, I would say it was good. It was good. It was a good test, but kind of annoying that with the security and them I'm not allowing anyone in and stuff like that. But yeah, I think we won't see the the true potential of these cars until qualifying Australia and and um, and Bahrain, the last hour of Bahrain. I think second one, not the first one. When teams are gonna go full blown out. Uh, what I know this is not really related to Barcelona testing, but one thing I want to add. Lando Norris yesterday had some interesting comments. First of all, he said he compared these cars to F2. He said they're like F2. They drive like F2 cars. And one thing that's kind of a bit scary, I would say, or a bit interesting, is that he said the teams are gonna have to lift and coast in qualifying because the batteries run out so much on the straights, and they reach speeds of like 380, 390 kilometers per hour, and that the batteries run out quickly. So that's gonna be a very big problem according to Lando Norris. But yeah, overall it was I'd say it was good testing. Some disappointments of course, like Williams and Aston Martin and Audi. But yeah, overall good practice for all teams.
Yeah, I echo and mostly agree with what you said. I think teams like Mercedes and Ferrari, to some extent, have shown some good pace, and also, but also, the goal was not also the pace, also in terms of reliability. I think Haas, to some extent, have shown that quite well. But teams like Aston Martin have been disappointing. Williams have absolutely no idea what happened to them. I mean, I heard that they they failed the crash test like 3 times or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yes, been quite a disaster start to and the season didn't even start, but they're having a lot of problems already,
yeah.
according to a lot of rumors, which I assume to believe that is true. So it's strange because Williams are one of those teams who have a Mercedes engine, and what they did last season, how James Vowles has made that team, recover and perform in that way, and Carlos Sainz finishing a couple of podiums, Albon performing well. I thought like Williams could be a team that could build on from that and be in the top three and even challenge for the title. Who knows? But with the way they started, the way they look before the start of the season is not looking good at all. And
Yes,
in relation to the comments of Lando Norris, as you said, that these cars are like a bit of F2 cars, which he's not the first driver to say similar like this about these regulations. Lando Norris, drivers like Max Verstappen was even complaining about it in 2023, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
and some other drivers are not happy with this kind of car regulations. But do you think when Lando Norris says that for this formula, this car looks like an F2 car,
It
this
doesn't
new
look. It
regulation, do you think that's going to
feels.
be that?
It feels like an
Sorry,
F2 car. He didn't say it looks. He said it feels like
yeah,
an F2. Yeah. Continue. What you were
yeah.
saying?
But do you think that's going to be a big problem for Lando only, or going to be a big problem for other drivers, or what is that?
He says in his comments, he says that he doesn't know if he likes it or not. He's not. He's unsure. I think some drivers are not gonna like it. Not gonna like it because some drivers like more grippy cars because when you consider the difference between grip and downforce between an F2 car and an F1 car is massive, especially in the last couple of seasons. So people who like more downforce, some people who like more downforce would definitely not like these regulations. But he's not sure. Max Verstappen, he said it, like he said 3 years ago. He said he doesn't like it already. So I don't think Verstappen really is gonna be comfortable with these regulations. According to Lewis Hamilton, he said he likes it. He likes driving this regulation more because it's more snappy, it's easier to catch, etc. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's a true thing that you said about Lewis Hamilton, because I remember I think a month ago when Formula One account social media released the actual facts about these regulations. A lot of fans said, "Oh, this driving style is gonna suit Lewis Hamilton," and the way he was talking about it is more than true. But in relation to the teams, we obviously talked about Mercedes. We also talked about McLaren and for some extent Ferrari. Do you think that teams like, let's say, they are not maybe they are actually good, but not people like focus on them. They're underrated and people don't underestimate them. Underestimate in your opinion.
look, I'm gonna rank the teams that I think are over. I'm gonna rank them. Okay. First of all, I think
Okay.
Mercedes is Mercedes and Ferrari are both getting like overestimated. They're getting people like, for example, the race are saying Ferrari are going to be faster than McLaren. I don't think that's as me, especially knowing that the Mercedes engine is the better is the best engine. I don't think Ferrari are going to be faster than McLaren. In my personal opinion, I don't think McLaren are going to go from winning 2 seasons in a row to going back into the midfield.
Oh,
Uh, Especially with Rob Marshall. I think the teams that are three teams have been very much overrated. I think Mercedes, Ferrari, and Aston Martin. Uh,
why do you think Mercedes are overrated?
Everybody's saying how they're reliable, and even that like the comments from the team themselves, and the team people in the team, like I remember his name. They're saying, oh, we had the best mileage, we're very confident, etc. We had really good reliability. They're like bolstering their ego, like they did in 2022 when they were entering the 2020 the new regulations. Said we're very confident. We have the best car, etc. Came the season and they were dead last. They were like third, fourth.
Toto Wolff and James Bowles' brilliant idea of cycle. Yeah.
So that's why I'm rating them overrated. Ferrari, I think you know what? Oh, Ferrari is not that overrated. They're not really getting that over. I'd say Ferrari is medium, not very much. But I say Aston Martin is getting. I think Aston Martin is also getting a little bit overrated. People are saying how Andrew Newey is gonna make this team the best team ever. They're gonna he's gonna. Andrew Newey has had slops before. Andrew Newey has not been 100% perfect. For example, from 2016 onwards, from 2014 onwards, all the way until 2020, those were all dull seasons. He didn't have the best car, the design, etc. So yeah, I think Aston Martin is going to be overrated as well. Mm, I think McLaren people are underrating them a little bit. I'll say that. Haas as well, as you say, Haas have a good reliability. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Red Bull as well are a little bit underrated. VCAP, VCAP as well. Yeah, all these teams. I think that the two most overrated teams right now is Aston Martin and Mercedes, and maybe a little bit Ferrari. The rest of the teams are all underrated in my opinion.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I understand what you think because yes, Mercedes may look long strong in the eye, but again, we're not gonna know this truly and well until the
Race.
first race in Australia. So it's difficult to say. Yeah, okay, they might look strong, etc. But it's about how you finish the regulations, not how about you start. Because I remember Ferrari in the ground effect regulations in 2022, they started that regulations really well, and Leclerc was winning races, and people say, "Oh, Leclerc is going to be world champion, yeah, whatever," and then didn't happen in that way. So I think it's better to wait and then give a clear give quick judgments. I know people in social media they want to do it for hype, for PR, etc., etc. But I think it is better to be like wait, fair, be honest, wait because we have Formula One fans have seen this situation play out millions and millions of times in the past. Teams doesn't always go in that direction that way. We've seen teams in the past where they don't start well in the start of the season, but they end really well at the end. So I think it's better to wait. Messages look good, but again, it's how you finish. It's not how about you start. But what about the teams? We talked about, let's say, teams like Audi and teams like Ricard. What do you think about them and Cadillac as well? What do you think about them?
Hmm. What do I think about them? They're gonna struggle a bit, especially Cadillac. Cadillac are gonna struggle.
Mhm.
Audi's gonna struggle. All these new entries are gonna struggle for sure. Like as much as I wanna have hope, I think they're gonna struggle very much. These more experienced teams are gonna prosper. Like for example, I think it might be Cadillac, Audi. The At the start of the season it's gonna be, or after the first race it's gonna be Cadillac, Audi, and then Williams. These are gonna be my bottom three. Uh, up from from that above, I don't know. I honestly I can predict that. But yeah, what do I think of them? I don't know. I don't rate them. If I'm being honest.
Mm. Yeah, I think kind of like a new team joining Formula 1 is always going to be difficult. So that's why they brought in two drivers that are experienced drivers like Perez and Bottas to be like, okay, we don't want to expose ourselves, bringing